you. So, Cenk, I mean, many people saying if you carry on down the road you're going in the last few weeks, you will be a fully fledged member of MAGA before we know it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance of that. I'm not like Dave Rubin, a giant sellout fraud who changed all of his positions and is totally useless, and it shouldn't even be on here. He's just a waste of space.
Wow.
In this video, Cenk Uygur and Dave Rubin are both panel members on Piers Morgan Uncensored. It's well known that Cenk Uygur and Dave Rubin were once co-workers at the Young Turks and did not part on friendly terms. With that, let's watch Cenk Uygur come across as a bitter ex while Dave Rubin calmly dismantles his attacks.
Including new MAGA enthusiast Cenk Uygur, I said that deliberately to wind him up, the host and founder of the Young Turks, libertarian Dave Smith, host of Part of the Problem, Lindy Lee, the DNC Finance Committee member and advisor, and former woke activist turned YouTuber, Amala Ekpunobi. Well, welcome to all of you. So, Cenk, I mean, many people saying if you carry on down the road you're going in the last few weeks, you will be a fully fledged member of MAGA before we know it.
Yeah, there's absolutely no chance of that. I'm not like Dave Rubin, a giant sellout fraud who changed all of his positions and is totally useless, and it shouldn't even be on here. He's just a waste of space.
Wow. Really? After what all Dave said about coming together?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've got no interest in coming together with utter frauds like Dave Rubin. So, brother, you telling me that when you were on the Young Turks, you were Mr. Progressive and you agreed with us 100%. Now, all of a sudden, you agree with Trump 100%. You're not saying something nuanced like we are. Hey, you know, when the guy gets shot at and he puts his fist up, that's courageous. When he does the McDonald's photo op and it works fine, no problem, right? If he wants to cut the Pentagon, great. Those are progressive positions. Anti-corruption, progressive position. Anti-war, progressive position. But you change all of your ideology overnight and you expect us to believe that that's real? I don't think it's real at all. And I want an apology from you for all the crazy, outrageous lies that you told about the Young Turks. When is that going to happen, huh? Wow. And when are you going to admit that you changed all your positions for money? Okay. Well, what position do you still have that's in any way a so-called classic liberal, you fraud?
Dave?
Piers, it's barely worth responding to this ridiculous buffoon who's the joke of the industry,
Right off the bat here, it sounds like Cenk is trying to deflect from the fact that all he's been doing lately is cozying up to the right, while he's spent his entire career denigrating Donald Trump and calling his supporters idiots. But what he seems to be saying is that the way he is approaching the right and pushing for a quote-unquote populist team-up, the fact that Dave Rubin left the Young Turks and has changed many of his views 180 degrees, Cenk is right on that, was the wrong way to go about moving from the left to the right. He seems to be trying to make it all about Dave's move with the hope that peers in the panel don't continue talking about him becoming full MAGA as Piers teased him about in the intro. Because you heard him, guys. What Cenk is doing is nuanced. What Dave did is unacceptable. And right before I paused there, Dave Rubin's response was, it's hard to respond to this because Cenk's a ridiculous buffoon and a joke of the industry. And look at Cenk's face on the screen right now. He definitely does have a little kid inside there somewhere and responds that way when he doesn't like what other people say. And let's be honest, regardless of what you think of Dave Rubin, Cenk is kind of a punching bag for political commentators everywhere. But let's see where this goes. Let's see who comes out on top.
I will say this, Cenk, I haven't spoken to you in 10 years.
Even right when you're thinking you're a total fraud.
I don't think he's a fraud or a joke. I think Dave Rubin is, for what it's worth, I think Dave Rubin is one of the most influential and significant voices out there right now. And I admire his honesty about the journey he's been on, Cenk.
Piers, I appreciate that, but you know, the thing is, what Cenk just proved is exactly what everyone in America, and I would say all over the world, is getting over. Nobody wants what he just offered up there. Not only does no one believe it, and he had it prepackaged and ready to go, and it's complete drivel. Yes, I sold out. Like, it's just it's so nonsensical. Again, Cenk, I'll gladly send you a signed copy of the book and you can read all of my thoughts. And if you're anti-corruption and you're anti-war, you should be on the Trump train. But your endless hatred, the division that you sow, calling everyone racist and white supremacist, all of that stuff, it's why you're not respected. But I don't mean to get into the personal side of that. I'm talking about now something that culturally has shifted, and everyone can see the grift that you're up to, trying to sort of dance with the thing, but it's just not necessary. And
if you like watching videos like these, like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. Let's get back to the video.
And I don't think that many people will buy it.
Well, Cenk, let me put to you, Cenk, something that Laura. Hang on, Cenk. Cenk, hang on. I'm gonna read you something just to see your reaction. But Laura Loomer called you out on X, as you know, and she said this: "You are the radical left, Cenk Uygur. You're a con artist and an opportunistic grifter who's gotten rich off demonizing President Trump, calling his supporters fascists and Nazis, promoting open borders, glorifying Hamas, and pushing conspiracy theories about Trump for 9 years. If you want forgiveness, get on your filthy knees and pray to Allah, because you aren't welcome on the right and you aren't ever going to find a redemption arc no matter how hard you pander." And she goes on and on. I'm going to keep calling you out every time you try to move an inch closer to many on the right, because you're too dense and too dumb, because they're too dense and too dumb to decode your subversion, but I'm not. So look, there are lots of people on the right who think that you're on some great move here to, as she puts it, wiggle your way into the middle and over to the right, so you can then poison MAGA with your, as she puts it, subhuman political takes. Your thoughts?
Yeah. Okay, so look, this is, people like Laura Loomer and Dave Rubin are the exact problem. And I think actually somebody else on this panel was part of the solution. That's Dave Smith. And I want to come back to that in a second. So when you have people like Dave Rubin switch all of their positions, what happens is when you go to do nuance and you say, hey, guys, hold on, let me explain. Hold on. Yeah. Hey, go pleasure Trump again. Go pleasure Trump again.
Do you know that
he goes from Bernie to Trump and pretends? Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
I tell people what I believe in. And
I'm pretty sure Cenk said earlier that Dave Rubin changed all his positions overnight, but I don't believe that to be true. We all have witnessed Dave Rubin's transformation over time, and it started with that Larry Elder interview where they talked about racism, and Dave Rubin admits that he just got owned by Larry Elder with facts and statistics about what's really going on in the country. If anybody switched on a dime their positions, it's Cenk, because as recent as election night, he was screaming, whining, crying about how the country had just elected Hitler, Donald Trump the dictator, and then it had to be, I don't know for sure, but a week, 2 weeks at the max that he was on the PBD podcast offering us a plan to unify MAGA and the progressives, which, first of all, who's looking for a plan from Cenk Uygur to unify us? And how could you go from spewing all the vitriol you did on election night to now, as your tweet said, being optimistic about the fact that Hitler was elected president? If Cenk wants to go after Dave Rubin and they have beef, it shouldn't be about him changing his political views, because Cenk is literally in the middle of doing that right now. And I know a lot of people on the right are not buying it. At best, people are skeptical. At worst, they think it's a complete con, grift, or some way to subvert the conservative agenda. Anyway, let's wrap up the video.
Believe it. You believed in something yesterday. You don't believe in anything today.
Yeah. What position? What position do you think I hold that I don't honestly believe?
Can I answer
Name one.
The question?
Yeah.
Can I answer the question? Can I answer Charlie?
Yeah. What position do I say that I believe that I don't really believe? Go ahead,
brother. You went on Fox News with Tucker Carlson. You went on Tucker Carlson on Fox News and said gay people, that the fact that the fire department was recruiting gay people was why there was forest fires. You're a national embarrassment. Okay,
right, if
you
anyone
pleasure
honestly
those
believes
guys
that,
for a
Piers,
living.
you can
It's
pull up the clip
disgusting.
tomorrow if you want.
Okay,
I was
you
talking
can
about
pull up the
diversity,
clip. You
equity,
can
and
pull up the
inclusion,
clip.
that you shouldn't hire
Can I answer
people
Pierce's
based on their
question?
genitals or their sexual orientation. And we now all know that. You have been one of the prime pushers of all of this neo-racism. I believe in meritocracy, that whether you're going to be a doctor or a firefighter or a basketball player or anything else, you should be hired on your qualifications, not your genitals or sexual orientation or skin color.
Yeah.
That's actually
Can I answer
America.
the
So
You know Cenk's backed into a corner when he's accusing a gay man, Dave Rubin, of suggesting on Tucker Carlson that the fire department shouldn't hire gay men to be firefighters and that they're the cause of the wildfires in California. Cenk is so transparent because this is one of his old tactics. He restates a story dishonestly in whatever way he can to try and put down his opponent when he has nothing else to say. The second when Cenk was about halfway through his accusation against Dave Rubin, I knew exactly where he was going and I knew exactly what the story was probably about. And I was right. It was about DEI and how that people's physical characteristics shouldn't determine if they get a job or not. A huge swing and a miss there for Cenk. But we want to hear from you. I do have a question for you all. I feel like people are split on Dave Rubin. I personally don't have any problem with him. I think he's really likable. But I really wasn't paying that close attention to the Young Turks when Dave Rubin was with them. I know both Cenk and Anna always accused Dave Rubin of saying egregious lies about the Young Turks after he left. Does anyone watching this know what those lies are and what they're so bitter about? Or are they just bitter that he left and he woke up to how silly their progressive policies were? And also let me know if you think I'm crazy, if you think Cenk is right in this situation. Again, maybe there's some backstory that I don't understand. But let us know what you think. Anyway, that's it for this video. As always, we really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.